Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mission Report, the Nintendo News Show. My name is James, and this is episode number 24. Today, I have only 3 different topics that I want to discuss, but I think that they're going to be pretty interesting and worth getting into. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is something that I talk about almost every single week, which is that there are some brand new additions to Nintendo Music. Nintendo has added some tracks from Wii Sports Resort, which just last week was announced to be coming to Switch. Wii Sports Resort was a 2009 Wii game. As far as Nintendo Music goes, they've added 99 tracks for a total of an hour and 37 minutes. They've also added some more tracks from Mario Kart World. I think that they added the free roam playlist from when I was looking around it earlier, and this brings the total of tracks from Mario Kart World up to 163 tracks for a total of 5 hours and 48 minutes. So definitely check those out. Number 2, getting a little more interesting here. Nintendo Switch System Update 22.5.0 is here. This was released June 15th, so 2 days ago as I'm recording, and these are the notes from Nintendo. It says, the Nintendo eShop layout has been redesigned, and then in a sub-bullet under that, it says, the Nintendo eShop color will now reflect the theme color if your theme in system settings is set to basic dark. Next bullet point. User verification PIN can now be used to confirm when accessing Nintendo eShop and using saved payment methods. They added the ability to rewind 10 seconds / advance 10 seconds with the ZL and ZR buttons when when watching a full screen video in News or Nintendo eShop. And finally, it just says general system stability improvements to enhance the user experience. And so all of these seem to kind of tie into the eShop, but the thing that they didn't explicitly say in this little write-up here that I've seen other people reporting on is that basically they redesigned the eShop and it works like the way that it's supposed to now. That everything is apparently buttery smooth, and you're not waiting a long time, and it doesn't feel clunky and cumbersome to use. So that's pretty exciting. Personally, this doesn't really get me that excited. I don't really use my Switch 1 anymore at all, and even if I did, I don't really spend very much time in the eShop. Seeing as I like to have most of my games physically. And I think that's all that I really have to say about that. All right, the news item number 3, and this is actually going to be a pretty big one, and it's that we've gotten some new info on the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. I saw the original reporting on this from IGN, and basically it is that a short description of the game was found hidden inside some website code. And, well, I guess this is exactly what the code said. The description said. The N64 Classic Reborn as a full remake for Nintendo Switch 2. Experience Ocarina of Time with stunning visuals, updated designs, and timeless gameplay. And Nintendo has since removed the description from the website code, which I think, if anything, just means that they weren't quite ready for people to know this stuff yet. And while it might kind of seem like this is kind of like they're kind of reporting on nothing, I do think that this gives us a little bit of insight as to what we can expect from the Ocarina of Time remake. So to kind of go piece by piece, the N64 Classic Reborn as a full remake for Nintendo Switch 2. Nothing really to speculate on there. It says experience Ocarina of Time with stunning visuals, updated designs, and timeless gameplay. So stunning visuals, obviously, we know from the teaser last week that there's going to be a visual overhaul of Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time? Ocarina of Time? Whatever, I say both. And with the stunning visuals come the updated designs, obviously. So, yeah. But it doesn't say updated or revamped or anything like that about the gameplay. It says timeless gameplay. And I think that means that we can kind of expect for this to be a 1-for-1 remake. It might not feel and play exactly the same, but I don't think that they're going to be changing any. I definitely don't think they're going to be changing any of the story stuff. I wouldn't expect, based off of this little snippet, that they're going to be wildly changing the gameplay either. Because they said timeless gameplay. And I think that's pretty interesting. And it kind of begs the question, am I happy with that scale of remake of one of my favorite games of all time? And I think the answer is yes. I think my ideal remake would be for probably like the characters and the structure of the world and even like the layout and everything to probably be the exact same. Clean up the controls a little bit. Make it to where you can make it to where you can look around easily with the right stick is something I would want. But I'm not looking for them to make a whole bunch of additions to what I think is largely already a perfect video game. And that might be kind of controversial, but even if they did change a whole lot, it's not going to change how I feel about the original game. The original game, the 1998 Ocarina of Time, is always going to be incredibly special to me. It's the reason that I still play video games today, largely. It's... the first games that I ever played were on the NES, but the first game that I remember absolutely loving was Ocarina of Time. And so I'm really interested to see how they handle this, because I'm not really tied to the character designs and like all this other stuff, but I do feel like I do kind of feel like I'm tied to the story and just the general feel and the vibe of the game. So I'm fully so I'm not unhappy with this description. I don't want them to completely change Ocarina of Time. I don't want them to go full like Final Fantasy VII remake with it or anything, or even like a Resident Evil 2 remake. I really just want them to kind of like clean up some stuff. And then finally, how do I think this new info is going to affect the game? I think that no matter what, this remake is going to sell incredibly well. Being the only way really to buy and play Ocarina of Time natively on Switch 2. I know that it's available on Nintendo Switch Online, but that's not really ideal to play a 28-year-old version of the game that was designed for a different kind of controller on a different system and all this stuff. I think the game will kill as far as sales, but I think no matter what, the discourse around this game is going to be kind of annoying. And I feel that way with kind of a lot of games, that it seems like the people who are most vocal about any game are the people that don't like it. And if this is a one-for-one remake that is just a visual overhaul, clean up the controls a little bit, exactly what I want, I'm going to have a great time with it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a great time with it, but I'm sure that the people that are really loud and obnoxious online about it are going to be the people that are saying, why are you paying $70 for an up-to-res version of the exact same game? Whereas if it was somehow a complete overhaul of the game, like a Resident Evil 2 style remake, or a or a Final Fantasy VII remake level of like redo or anything like that, I think the loudest people would be the people saying that it's unfaithful and that they ruined their favorite character. And so, how do I think this game's going to do? I think commercially it's going to do really well, and I think that the discourse around this game is going to be terrible. But that's nothing new, because that's the story for a lot of video games, and I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Guys, in the comment section, please let you know what you think about these things that I've discussed. Let's see. What else do I want to say right now? Oh, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I was going to keep playing Yoshi and the Mysterious Book and eventually get a video out on it. Once I got into the kind of like post game and there was more stuff that I wanted to do, I kind of put that game on hold, and so I've been playing some other stuff lately. So I'm not going to be doing a full video on Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I'm not really planning to. I might be able to do a full video on something else, but as far as Nintendo goes, I haven't really been playing my Switch a whole bunch. I've been replaying Assassin's Creed Odyssey on my Xbox, and I have also been playing 007 First Light on my PlayStation, and those have been pretty much consuming all of my time. Anyway, I think that's all that I have for today, for real. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next mission.